Welcome back to the channel. Recently, I've watched plenty of movies, from good to bad to amazing to shit. I spent a good time enjoying some quality time at the movies, especially after the whole COVID-19 issue died down. The only issue with this is the amount of people coming back as well. People were indoors all this time, and they want to go outside, so the one idea we have is to go indoors with other people at the movies. Or go bowling with our cousin.
Nico, it's Roman. Let's go bowling.
But the problem with this is, not everyone, but small groups of people have forgotten theater etiquette. With this etiquette, it means you're respectful of everyone around you during a 1.5 to 3 hour movie. This has not been the case for most movie experiences for me, and others as well.
No way! I pay my money, I have a right!
Some theater employees seemed unable to get the fight under control.
Fights, yelling, and a mix of both have happened more recently than I've ever noticed in theaters over issues which can be resolved so easily by the person being confronted. What is it they do, you ask? Well, talk during the movie, scream at the top of their lungs to get attention, play on their phones full brightness, take phone calls during a movie, and even stream the damn movie on their phones.
Good night, everyone. Thank you all for your support.
People have lost touch with themselves, but more importantly seem to have no respect for anyone around them, even after the big cinema screen in front of them is telling them to not be a twat. But no matter how big the message on the screen is in front of them, the smaller screen with online friends on it is even bigger. So why is this? Obviously, it's because of how long it's been for people since the movies. During our times at home, these movies we're now seeing in the cinema again were available at home with many people sitting at their TV and also on their phone since no one was going to stop them. But they fought to keep this attitude during the actual movie's return, which makes them look like massive twats. But Liam, you ask, I've never dealt with this issue before, and I say, lucky you. But this has been a constant issue for me that I want to address, especially how many times it has happened to me from big to small. I just saw Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1 over the weekend, and it was great, except for the elderly couple at the front with full brightness phones on nearly throughout the 3 hour movie, including the ads.
Monopoly Fortnite.
And also the other thing that happened right before the movie started, some nonce on his phone coming into the theater, coming to my row and seeing my popcorn and drink on my side and saying loudly,
"My friend's gonna be sitting there. You're gonna have to move your stuff, thanks."
I refused, and the nonce found out he wasn't even having anyone sit there, as clearly he lied about having friends, and just threw his jacket on the seat next to me. Like a nonce. Another time was during Scream 6, an air film that turned dreadful with the audience behind and in front of me. This was going to be a nice night out with the missus, and I enjoy the series a lot, for the most part. But throughout any minor jump scare or horror moment, a woman behind would scream as if she was the one getting murdered, and then also a group at the front, thinking that they had the cinema to themselves, just shouting non-stop and on their fucking phones, man. Just acting like real twats. This experience was so bad, even my lovely girlfriend had a go at them, which is surprising since she usually has to hold me back from saying anything, or just running up to the person and scaring them more than their father ever did when he had the belt out. With this experience after this, I made sure to never let something like this interrupt my movie ever again. Which brings me to the one story that I really want to talk about. This experience was way worse than Scream 6.
Hey, Kelly.
Not too long ago, a little animated movie came out that hit plenty of dollar signs for an animated movie, and that was, of course, Super Mario Bros. The movie. This was at a different cinema for once and thought, shit, why not? What could possibly happen? This was on the weekend and was packed with kids, of course, but surprisingly not bad. Of course, you have to go easier on kids with the etiquette and all that. I'm not going to scream at a kid for pointing out when Mario was on the screen or something. I'm not an incel. Anyways, it was an alright experience until it got terrible so quickly. You see, I talked about the need to go easier on kids at the movies, but never discussed the rule for teenagers. The proper theater etiquette is in effect for them. Sitting next to me were a family, specifically 2 teen guys and their mother. And at the start it was alright with them. Nothing weird, they just hung out and watched the movie until the mum was getting bored of the movie. She began pulling out her phone and on full brightness scroll through it. I was ready to say something for this as I was just sick of this shit at this point. Until the unthinkable happened when the son told her to stop and get off her phone. Yet, she refused, and kept showing it to the 2 boys, which would shine in my face like a fucking flashbang from CSGO. This not only pissed me off, but also pissed off one of the sons sitting next to her, as he decided to resolve it himself by pushing her and trying to pull the phone out of her hands, which then started a fistfight between the two, with the son doing punches like Markiplier in that one video of his. And then she finally stopped. But not for long, as she began again and just pulled out her damn phone. No fistfights with the son this time though. The son just repeatedly told her to get off her damn phone and she just wouldn't listen. I had just been watching the movie while this happened, but it just kept getting worse and worse with them, and thought the fistfight should have been my breaking point. But she made me finally have enough when she decided to take a phone call with a fella called Justin and put the nonce on speaker. I just sat and I heard the noises of a grown man on the other side, and my body just boiled and boiled, as I could tell others were starting to get pissed off as well around me, until finally I butted in. Hey! I'm trying to watch this movie! Silence. The only noise left in the theater was of Mario getting a mushroom shoved down his throat by Peach. The entire family, especially the mum, looked at me as she went from smiling, clearly enjoying pissing off her son, going to a face of disappointment in herself as she shut her phone off and watched the rest of the movie in silence. I could enjoy the movie in peace. No more issues like this would bother me again. I learned something that day. If someone is trying to fuck around, you let them know what happens when they find out. Because 9 times out of 10, they will find out and shut that trap of theirs up. I'm sure some people still don't understand why I would ramble on about this situation, but there's good reasons. I love movies, and to have my first experience with a movie be ruined by some nonce on their phone or talking can really put a damper on a good movie, and the fact that I've spent $20 for a ticket makes it even more annoying. Would you not be annoyed yourself, viewer? I think it's high time that we finally have proper etiquette put back into people, and just a reminder that stop fucking around, stop pissing people off, and watch the goddamn movie that you also spent $20+ on. Anyways, be sure to share your 2 cents on this if you'd like, especially if you have your own stories. And if you enjoyed the video, thank you for watching. It's appreciated.